here we go. Episode 4, Booligans Podcast. Gonna give us a little pick update. Got a couple new segments this week. Study Hall. We'll do some NFL picks, betting locks. We have Helluva Guy and Dum Dums. Also, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to myself. Losing this is the last podcast you'll have with me as a fully intact man. Tomorrow I'm getting the snippy. So
rip.
Yeah.
We'll pour one out for you.
Are you gonna freeze
them,
some?
We should say.
No. I don't want to have the off chance of.
You've been over there? He's got enough kids running around.
Yeah.
I know, just in case there's an apocalypse or something.
No, I'll be all right.
An apocalypse.
All right. Here's our recap of our records for our picks. Teebs is terrible at NFL. I wanted to make a dunce cap and actually wear it, but I ran out of time, so I just threw it on the slide here.
This'll do.
Yeah, but Connor and Sneeze, 57%, 64%. That's pretty good. I mean, you take that all day if you're strictly betting these games. So.
Fuck yeah.
All right. So Study Hall with Sneeze, current record 11-19, 37%.
Yeah, I am.
Gotta get that up.
I'm drawing the line in the sand this week.
Love it. Love it.
I'm tired of fucking losing. But like I said, this doesn't reflect my actual winning and losing. But I don't want the people to lose anymore. So I'm drawing the line in the sand for the people. And this week we're gonna be on top big time. So let's get into it.
Love to hear it.
I'm riding.
All right, and the Super Dog, 1-1. You take that. I mean, the one win is just enough to be.
Yeah, you're betting money lines. That's you're in plus money.
Right,
this week is hitting too.
Say it again.
I said this week I'm hitting my Super Dog too, but I guess we'll see later.
All right, a little update with our hot takes. Shannon, 28 passing TDs for Kenny Pickett. He's got 4 through 4 games. He just had his first career 2+ TD game, so
let's go.
Things are looking up.
That's the trend line.
Yeah. Cameron's Green Bay 0-7 or 1-6, whatever you want to say. Love out Clifford, and I just said it before we started.
I'm still on this because he sucks ass still. So we're sitting here third quarter against the Lions, 15 for 24, 117, sacked 4 times. They have 11 fucking points. He did this every fucking week. They beat the Bears, and then they were down 17-0 against the Saints, and then they choked to death after Derek Carr got hurt. Jameis fucking couldn't put his pants on, and they lose to the Packers. So I'm still on this hill. Okay, maybe they're not going to be 0-7 or 1-6, whatever, but they suck.
This is classic Cameron just needing the smallest piece of evidence to confirm his assumption. Love looked good the first 3 weeks. Yeah, his completion percent wasn't high, but he led them to a comeback victory against a good team. The Saints are good. They have a good defense.
22 for 44.
And New Orleans is good. Yes.
Yeah.
At home.
We'll find out here in a second.
Atlanta, 14 for 25, 151.
I don't care about his completion percentage. I don't care. He won in the games.
He's QB3 in fantasy, so that's
that too.
It's not gonna fucking last. He's gonna be 23 in a couple weeks.
Yeah, he's gonna drop big time. Yeah, he had negative 0.2 or something at the.
Yeah, he's fucking horrible.
The second quarter. Yeah,
he had a bad half.
Well, we'll see if we can get something going here in a second, but he's already got 1 touchdown.
And you can blame these fuckers for Jordan Love not getting benched.
Who fuckers? Oh, these fuckers. The Saints go marching?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Saints. So, yeah, here's mine. Saints 1 seed. They're 2-1. Derek Carr getting hurt, and don't love that, but Jameis is in. Jameis, like you said, he sucked last week, but he didn't have his head on right. He wasn't ready to play. That's on him. But this week he's coming. He's prepared. He's ready to go. Jameis is him. Saints are going to be just fine. Kamara's coming back. Look out. They'll be fine. So I'm still classifying this as warm.
Please.
All right. We'll go into Study Hall with Sneeze. Week 5
Right.
college football season.
All right, I'm drawing the line in the sand here. This game is on Friday night, so be ready. It's 9:15 Central Time kick, which is part of the problem for Cincinnati, which I believe by my calculations is Eastern Time Zone. So they got a little bit of a time issue here, but the problem is the wrong team is favored here. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw a 1.5 spread here. Cincinnati is no good. This is BYU's first home Big 12 game. It's at night, Friday night. BYU beat Arkansas on the road, so they're no slouch. Last week they did lose to KU, which is embarrassing. However, they did hang in that game. BYU at home, they're a better team. The wrong team's favored. So this is easy. Take a money line, whatever. BYU, we're 1-0. Let's go. Okay, Arizona State plus 13.5 at Cal. Again, if you're wise, you make this 14. But that's beside the point. Arizona State got smacked against Fresno State. I think they lost 29-0. Fresno State is in the top 25 now. So that was an embarrassing effort, but they bounced back last week and gave USC a pretty decent game. Cal's no good. They haven't been good since Jared Goff, and even then I don't think they were good. So you're giving me 2 touchdowns, and I think they're pretty evenly matched teams here. So I think I'll take the 2 touchdowns, and I'm going 2-0.
Okay.
Under in the Battle of the Orange. This is 11 a.m. game, I think Saturday morning. So get that in early. These 2 teams played last year. They went under the number. Syracuse, pretty stout defense. And, they're going to have Klubnik and Clemson, who's not really an offensive juggernaut this year, going on the road. Syracuse is yet to allow over 20 points in a game. I just feel like this is a kind of a low-scoring tangle between the 2 defenses. So I'm thinking under for sure. Again, if you're wise, maybe under 54. But, hey, we'll take it as it is.
Yeah,
always got to move the needle a little bit.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'll add to that real quick. I don't know much about college football, but I do feel like Clemson is in a lot of low-scoring games. So, yeah, I like this pick.
Yeah, last week with Florida State, they were under, and it went to overtime. Anyways, okay, Georgia Southern, I love this one. Georgia Southern minus 6.5. The line already sets up as you like. This is not your father's Coastal Carolina. I mentioned before that their coach went to Liberty, who Liberty's playing extremely well. Georgia Southern, if you followed the pod and took Georgia Southern plus 21.5 against Wisconsin, they would then be 4-0 against the spread. They're at home. They're feeling good. They're 3-1 as they sit right now. It's a night game against a name opponent. They might get those boys in Georgia, those frat boys, a little juiced up there in that stadium. I think they'll have a little home field advantage here. Like I said, they hung in with Wisconsin. They're sitting at 3-1, and I think they'll have the juice to carry through here by a touchdown against Coastal Carolina, who last week on Thursday laid an egg against Georgia State. So I don't think the Chanticleers will get it done. So Georgia Southern it is.
Now, side note is Coastal Carolina. I know this is at Georgia Southern, but is Coastal Carolina the team that plays on like that awful green turf?
On the teal, yeah, the teal turf, yeah.
Teal's a horrible color. Fisher can attest to that.
Yeah. Okay, this game is at a neutral site. It's at Jerry's World, actually, in Arlington. But Texas A&M, Connor Wegman, their quarterback, who's played all right, out for the year. So, this is first game without him here. So I like the Hogs. I think they're a solid bunch. Generally, this game's pretty tight. So give me 7 in favor of the Hogs. I think they have a chance to win outright, but A&M coming off with a new quarterback, I think the Hogs can be threatening here. This game's also 11 a.m. You can win a little parlay with this in the Syracuse game. So, be a good way to start your Saturday morning.
Saturday off, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of Duke, since they lost to Clemson first week, I watched that game. I probably think many people did watch that game. Duke won 28-7 against Clemson, but Clemson coughed it up on the goal line multiple times. So it kind of made Duke look better than they are. Notre Dame had a heartbreaking defeat last week against the Buckeyes, but I think this bounce back spot here, Sam Hartman, Wake Forest transfer. He's played at Duke a couple times. I think he'll know what's going on. Duke, I think game days there in Durham. I just don't think they're ready to tangle with the Irish. The Irish know their backs up against the wall to get to the college football playoff. They could probably only afford, they probably need to run the table from here on out. So I think the Irish will establish their dominance here against Duke.
Superdog.
I'm a big fan of this one this week. Louisiana is catching 11 in Minneapolis, and on the money line plus 340, awfully juicy. So the enemy of a power conference team that doesn't score is a mid-major team that likes to light up the scoreboard. That's troublesome. It's 11 a.m. game. I keep talking about these game times, but I think it makes a difference. Minnesota's going to be sleepwalking. 11 a.m. game. Minnesota lost to Northwestern last week, who's dreadful. They did put up some points against Northwestern, but you throw that game out, Minnesota's averaging 17 points a game. Louisiana's averaging nearly 40 points a game. So, I think Louisiana can light it up. Minnesota's really licking their wounds. They're not able to score. Sleepy atmosphere, 11 a.m. game. I think Louisiana feels like they have a Big Ten team on the ropes here, and I think they'll pull it out outright. So the Cajuns are the dogs.
So nail biter, or can I get on them with minus 2.5 or something? Cajuns.
I mean, if they're going to win, might as well win by 2.5. So make it as juicy as you want.
Yeah. Quick update too. Jordan Love touchdown. Some are saying he's good.
He only comes out in the fourth quarter. He's like a fucking witch.
I think they call it penalty. Unless I'm behind.
Yeah, I think you're way behind. I think he ran this one in.
Yeah, that way is.
Well, he can't throw, so he might as well try something new. Okay, never mind. This is my lock. So yeah, it's on here.
Yeah, week 5 locks. Start with Shannon. Notre Dame at Duke.
Yeah.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, Sneeze teed me up here a little bit. Not only are they backs against the wall, have to run the table, but just mad as a red hen after that boneheaded loss against Ohio State, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, traveling to Duke, I agree. Duke's a little overranked. They got that bump at the beginning of the season, and then just haven't been knocked down at all. They haven't lost, I don't think, or they haven't had any bad losses. So, yeah, I think Notre Dame wins by a touchdown. So make it minus 5.5 and enjoy your day.
Okay. Sneeze. Here's
my lock. I'm going to the Sun Belt, and I'm going over on the points with these two. South Alabama's coming off a 34-30 game, and the Dukes of James Madison are coming off a 45-38 game. Sounds like a lot of damn points to me. So you put these two in a blender, and I think you can get 48.5 out of this bunch. So comfortably over. Lock it in.
Okay. Would you believe me if I told you I had the same game? Well, I do.
No, I wouldn't believe it.
I like James Madison minus 3. I was looking through games and didn't really know what to pick. So I was kind of looking just like, I feel like James Madison's always got a decent team. So I'm like, okay, let's see how South Alabama looks. I just see their records 2-2. They played nobody. James Madison, I think, maybe beat Oklahoma State. Correct me if I'm wrong.
South Alabama beat Oklahoma State, but Oklahoma State's pretty bad this year.
Well, still, I'm like, I don't know how. I feel like James Madison is a much better team here. They're always decent. So I feel like they should be able to win by 3.
That's circular calendar for that game. Set your DVR for that big time game there.
Let's move on to the NFL. Do our pick'em challenge here. First game is the international series in London. We got the Falcons and the Jaguars. Jaguars are minus 3. And I'll have a couple little stats for you guys here. Since the start of the 2020 season, the Jags are the worst team in the NFL to bet when favored. They are 1-7 against the spread. Personally, I don't think 3 points is enough for a QB-less Falcons team. I'm going to say QB-less. I don't think Desmond Ritter's good at all.
He's not.
London is basically. Sorry?
He's Jordan Love-esque.
Yeah, exactly. London is basically the Jags' second home, so this might be the game they need to get them going. So I'll take Jags -3.
Yeah, I got a few nuggets for you guys. We'll see if it sways your opinion. So, Jags have lost 10 straight against the NFC South. Now, they don't play them very often. Their last two games were against the Falcons in 2019 and 2021. They lost both. So this would be three in a row against the Falcons from the NFC South. Obviously, a lot of those 10 games are the bad Jacksonville Jaguar days, but 2 years ago they lost to him. That was Urban Meyer. But anyways, they haven't beaten an NFC South team in 10 games. Last year in London, they lost to the Broncos, who, as we know, were terrible last
Well,
year.
that's because Russell Wilson was doing stretches on the plane, so it's tough to beat.
That's right. It was that game.
That wasn't fair. That's not fair.
He was ready
You
to
can't compete
go.
with that. I mean, come on.
Oh man. Anyway, that was a mid 5-game losing streak for the Jags. I think this year's gonna be a little
Urban
bit
Meyer
reminiscent.
was stealing bitches' asses and stuff.
Yeah.
He had his mind in a bad spot. So,
Another little nugget. Falcons have the 5th best pressure rate in the league, behind only Cleveland, Philly, Pittsburgh, and Buffalo. So it's a pretty solid defensive line there in that being in that group. And really, my only hesitation is that Jacksonville's pretty good against the run, and that's all the Falcons do. I don't think Ritter's going to be able to throw the ball for them to a win, but I think it'll be a low-scoring, boring game, and I'll take the Falcons +3.5.
Okay. I haven't been putting together some notes against the NFL teams here, but maybe that's doing me well. As Teeps pointed out, Jacksonville's no stranger to London. I think the Falcons below. They did beat the Packers, right?
I think that was week 1. I think they lost.
I don't know, but they played a shitty game against.
They beat the Packers. It was 25-24.
Yeah.
They beat the Packers.
So that win doesn't even count. But anywho, Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence, take your numbers against the NFC South and leave them at home. It's a different ball club. I think the Jags will get it straightened out here, and they clear 3 points. I'm taking Jacksonville.
I know I didn't write down the stat. I think I saw it briefly. I know Jacksonville plays there every year, but I don't think the record's very good in London.
It's not. I did look at that too, but I didn't write it down. But it was bad. Yeah, I want to say it's.
But they play there. They play again next week, and I think that's a huge advantage. They're staying in London, and they play again next week. So
they're playing in London again, or are they playing like in Germany or some shit?
No, I'm pretty sure they're staying in London because they have such a huge fan base.
It's not Jacksonville. I think it's a decent game in Germany. I want to say it's like Chiefs Dolphins maybe.
I think they ought to fly home. I mean, get your schoolwork done. Fuck.
Schoolwork.
Yeah. Those people have families, shit.
Okay. All right. Rams at Colts. Colts are +1. I don't know if you guys heard, but some are calling this the Teebs Bowl. We got the Rams, his first NFL love, versus the Colts, his current NFL love. So, big game here. As far as the game goes, I think the Colts defense has been pretty good so far. I think they'll overwhelm Stafford. I mean, just look at last week against the Bengals, that he looked like shit. So, yeah, I like the defense to help them out here. A-Rich is back. You got to love that. He looked good when he was healthy. So, yeah, Colts +1. I think they win outright even. And they're going to be 3-1. So, got to love that.
Yeah, I've got some. This is my last game with notes, and then I'll be done with notes. But first note, A-Rich is back, and Rams O-line is banged up. And you saw that in the Cincy game. I mean, Stafford had 2 seconds to get rid of the ball. He just looked terrible. Rams are traveling west to east, which I know a lot of people are saying it doesn't matter as much these days. They're also on a short week, so that's a double whammy.
They didn't just stay in the Midwest and go straight from Cincinnati?
That's a good point. That's a good point. I don't know why I thought they were at home.
They could have just hung out, you know.
So neck on me. They're not
You
traveling.
could have
far.
went to Santa Claus, Indiana, or some shit.
They're going right up I-65, I believe. So yeah.
Teams do that?
Neck on me. I'm sure they don't go home.
I've heard of teams like from the West Coast staying, you know, if they're playing back-to-back East Coast games. I don't know if this would qualify since it's not quite, you know.
They're so close. But they would be dumb to go back home on a short week.
But I mean, what is it, like a 3-hour flight? Come on. 4 hours.
Sure, but it's 3 time zones.
That doesn't mean nothing.
Last 4 seasons, teams are 58 and 66 after Monday Night Football. So take that for what you will.
Say it again. What's the numbers?
58 and 66. I think it's like a 45% win percentage, so a slight advantage to the Colts, which you can see in the lines here. And Colts win the turnover margin, so they're 7th in forcing turnovers, and they're 11th in committing turnovers. So even though they got a rookie quarterback, they're pretty good taking care of the ball. So I'll take Indy +1. Actually, I think I have them -1, which is where the line opened.
It's where it did start, yeah. So then you got love +1.
Gotta love.
Can you send a note to the director of operations for the LA Rams to see what their travel plans were?
Yeah, I will. I'll reach out to them for comment. I don't know if they'll get back to me or want to comment. Competitive advantage. But I'll
you can do some player stalking on X and see if you can find any information.
Yeah, maybe look on the Snap map.
Yeah. If you're friends with Puka Nakua. Okay. Anyways,
you got sneeze.
So I've been. I like to poke fun at the Colts, just for fun. But I'm a real guy, and I'm gonna call a spade here. Anthony Richardson out of college, he was like putting up Jordan Love numbers, like 45% passing and shit. But I've also been a firm believer that you can kind of watch just a game or two out of a rookie quarterback, and you can kind of tell off just one game or two if he's a real deal or not. And Richardson, he's been pretty darn good looking there in Colts blue. So I think he's a real deal. The Colts defense has been pretty lights out. They held Lamar down in a game I thought they had no chance to win. The Colts are feeling themselves there. They got a chance in that division. They're back home in Indy. I feel like they'll get a boost from that crowd. As you guys said, LA struggled to move the ball against Cincinnati. So, like I said, I'm calling a spade. The Colts are a pretty damn decent ball club, so I'm taking Indianapolis here.
Nice. All right, next we got the Commanders at the Eagles. The Eagles are getting 9. So since 2021, Washington is 4-9 against the spread when facing a top 10 offense. Philly's a better team here, but they've kind of been letting bad teams hang around lately. I think with this being a divisional game, Washington's going to come out a little bit fired up, especially after getting bent over a barrel last week. I think it was 38-3 or something at home. Yep. So not great. But in my best Akon voice here, no matter. This is going to be the ELGSEL Eagles. Eagles -9.
That's a fantastic video.
I think their game was in Buffalo, I believe, last week, wasn't it?
I think they were at home.
I'm pretty sure it was in Command.
Washington. I don't know because I knew because I was starting
with like 7 minutes left in the game.
I was starting Brian Robinson, and I knew I was afraid of it. I felt like I would only be more afraid of it as Buffalo.
AJ, shout out to our local boys. AJ got that pick 6. I feel like they were running one. So they were on the road.
Yeah,
Buffalo was.
I think it was in Washington. Anyway,
yeah, it was in Washington. You're right. Go on.
Yeah, so Eagles, I feel like got a little bounce back. They got the running game going. That O-line and D-line are both elite. And yeah, I mean, people are loving Sam Howell, but he just didn't have it against an elite team, and I think this is going to be more of the same here against Philly. The data says take -9, so I'm going to take -9.
Well, Similar to you guys, I think this is a no sweat game for the Eagles. They're a better club. They're playing well. They're running the ball with dominance. But I just feel like this is one of those games where they're ahead 21 points, and then next thing you know, you walk into a backdoor cover for the Commanders. So I just feel like that's coming. I just feel like the Eagles have been awfully dominant lately, and I just feel like they might get backdoored here. So I'm taking the Commanders in the 9.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked at a backdoor either, but I just wanted to say that chance, so that's why I picked the Eagles.
Yeah, I don't love taking big lines.
Or they can win.
In
Just don't lose by more than 9.
Right.
Yeah. All right, next up, Miami at Buffalo. Buffalo's getting 2.5. So Buffalo has won 7 straight home games against Miami. Their last loss was in 2016. But Dolphins country, let's dive. The streak ends and Miami wins. They went outright. I've said it before and I'll say it again. A healthy Tua is really scary. Their offense is elite when he plays well. So if he stays healthy, that offense is dangerous Tua. So yeah,
back-to-back Broncos references.
Miami wins this out. So
he's been thinking of that one all week.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite ones. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to rub it in the Broncos' face a little bit after last week. I'm really excited about this game. I think the Bills' offense can hang. I don't think the Dolphins are going to have too much trouble with the Bills' defense. I'll take the Bills in a close one. Obviously, I think a lot of the money is going to be on Miami. But I got the Bills winning that division, and if they're going to win the division, they got to beat Miami at least once. So, Bills minus 2.5.
So this game is October 1st. I'm not a weatherman, but it's not quite Buffalo cold yet in Buffalo. And longtime listeners of this podcast might be able to get some correlation here. Last time, there was a quarterback from Miami by the name of Keyone who went to New England on the road. But again, it's not cold yet, and Keyone come out with the win. So I think the Dolphins in Miami will do the same. It's not quite cold yet. If this is December, different story. But it's October, Dolphins. Weatherman.
Can we look up the weather real fast?
Doesn't matter. It's not cold yet.
I don't think it. I think it's supposed to be pretty nice most places this weekend.
Buffalo's beautiful this time of year.
This time of year.
Jersey Shore, shout out. All right, next we got Cardinals at San Francisco. Niners are getting 14. They're the best against the spread home team since the beginning of 2022 with an 80% cover rate. It's pretty high. But I think 14, like we kind of touched on with that Eagles game, 14 is a lot of points in the NFL. And Cardinals, credit to them, they've stayed in a lot of games this season. I mean, they just won one, and the other two were coming down to the wire. So I'm going to roll with Josh Dobbs and not being able to find a jersey in his own team store. So give me the Cardinals plus 14.
Yeah, Buffalo's going to be 70 and sunny, by the way, at game time. So,
Miami's
no sweat there.
Dolphins country. Let's dive.
Stop.
So I'm just going fully off gut here. I mean, Teves is right. Like the eyeballs say to go with Arizona. They just have hung around with good teams. They just beat Dallas, but it just feels like one of those classic, like, overperforming bad team, and this is where the other shoe's going to drop. Like they get their big win. They almost won the first 2 weeks. They got their big win, and now they're going to get beat by 25. So I'll take the 49ers. I'm pretty sure Budda Baker's still out. I could be wrong on that, but that team doesn't have any guys. They're playing with all heart, and you need guys to beat 49ers. I think Debo is questionable, but they don't need him.
So some guy has heart. His name is Josh Dobbs. He doesn't have hair, but he has heart. So I'm going to pick the Cardinals here. The 49ers have been dominant, but maybe they'll show a little chink in the armor here. They've just been dominant in all facets of the game. Arizona's playing pretty good ball, as you guys have said. I'm just going to bank on the 14 just being too high of a number, and I'll go with alopecia and Josh Dobbs.
Careful, that could get you
He
slapped.
looked kind of good too. So
No homo.
yeah, you can't say that either. Sunday Night Football, Chiefs -9 at the New York Jets. All right, I'm going to give you no stats on this one. I'm going to give my analysis just in 7 words. So if you want to break out the word counter, you can. Chiefs, good. Jets, not. Chiefs, easy pick. That's all I got.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I wouldn't be shocked if we see 5 days on the roster Trevor Siemian in this game in around the third quarter, and he'll probably be better than Zach Wilson. So T Swift's gonna be in the house, so Kelsey might have 2 tuds, and take the Chiefs -9 and don't overthink it.
Real quick, I did Kelsey 2 tuds last week, and he got the 1, but I was like, yeah, T Swift's going to be there. He's going to be balling out, but
Yeah.
Oh well.
I'd go back to the well.
Might. Probably going to be juicy, but
That's not going to be the only thing juicy. Taylor's box.
this is family friendly.
I didn't say anything wrong. Okay,
It's going to be Taylor's box, not Donna's box this time around. She's going to have her own.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you did there. I think you missed it.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a reference I didn't catch, but yeah.
Yeah,
they were in Travis's mom's box last time.
Like the suite, like a suite.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got you. I didn't know the Kelsey mom by name. Sorry. She's Miss Kelsey to me.
Yeah, that's okay.
Anyway, so I gave some charity to the Commanders. I gave some charity to Arizona with these large points. But Kansas City, that's where I'm going to draw the line. I'm taking the Chiefs in this matchup. They like to have a little flair for the dramatic on prime time. I mean, they did lose to Detroit, but normally good. I feel like they'll win easily. The Jets, they can't really score. So, Chiefs.
Okay.
Does anyone know what happened with that field goal? I mean, I know we're taking a timeout here, but they kicked a field goal and then it went away.
Wasn't watching.
All right.
Sorry.
I'll investigate later. I'll consult
I asked you 3 points for Riley. Actually, sorry, touchdown.
Yeah, they I guess took it off and they went for a touchdown. Anywho,
David Montgomery scored again. Damn, Fish. Yep. Sorry, bro. I want to play somebody who's shitty.
Hat trick. He's got him on the bench. Unbelievable. Although I got lucky last week, Mushbaugh sat whatever that guy in Miami's name is. He had like 50 points, so
yeah.
I like bad managing. All right, last game, Monday Night Football, Seahawks at the Giants. Giants are -1. Since 2021, Seattle has covered 12 games as an underdog and have won 10 of those games outright. I still cannot believe the Giants have been on prime time in 3 of the first 4 weeks. So at this time, I'd like to issue a formal statement to the New York Giants. Fuck you for being shitty and making us watch you in prime time. End of formal statement.
Earmuffs, kids.
I am not picking the Giants strictly out of spite, but really it's because Seattle is better. And I have no idea how they're dogs in this game. So Seattle +1.
Yeah, double checking myself since I flubbed on the last one, but yeah, this Seahawks are West Coast traveling east for this game, but they get an extra day to get acclimated, being Monday Night Football. Giants offense, I mean, it's basically just Danny Dimes running for his life. And
Saquon back this week?
He's back on 1.5 legs if he is back, so I'm not too worried about that. I mean, he has a high ankle sprain. He's trying to come back in 2 weeks. Stop. That's not how high ankle sprains work. So
you're not a doctor, though.
I'm not a doctor. I should have disclaimed that. Not a doctor. But anyway, I think Gino and the guys got it figured out. They got the running game going, and Seahawks +1. Take them on the money line.
Yeah, despite there being a quarterback controversy in Seattle, the Giants are bad. So the Giants, this is disgusting matchup for Monday night. Usually, like, oh, it's Monday, coming home from work. Well, at least there's Monday Night Football. This one sucks. But yeah, I'm taking the Seahawks, even though they're starting the wrong quarterback. I'm still taking them.
It fucking sucks. What are we doing? Why are the Giants 3 of the first 4 weeks on primetime? It's ridiculous. What are we doing?
They won a playoff game last year, bro.
What are we doing? Okay. Week 4 locks. Let's get into it. Shannon, Mini at Carolina, the over.
Yeah, so somehow this line has gone up, and we're at -136 now. And this was contingent upon Andy Dalton playing. I think he threw over 50 times last game against Seattle. Obviously, Minnesota's going to be throwing. They're going to be up. I think it still goes over. I've got my seal of approval on it, so we'll call it a lock at 45. Sorry about the payout, but if Bryce Young plays, then hold on to your nuts.
He's been okay, though. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We got a 2-for-1 here.
Yeah, so I was talking up the Colts earlier. It's pretty stout defense. LA struggled on offense. That just seems like a low-scoring game to me. Give them the extra 6 or 7 points, whatever it was. We go under there. Arizona, San Francisco. San Francisco could get 38 on their own, but they're at least going to score 28 plus. Then you get a couple scores from Arizona. I just don't see how this doesn't hit. So it's got to be a lock.
And it's got good odds for a how does it not hit.
Right.
Yeah, I could easily see that Colts game being like 17-13. And then 28-17.
At least. I mean, San Fran can score 38.
Yeah, they could have 28 in the first half. All right, last I got Bengals at Titans with the Bengals -2.5. I think last week was a big confidence booster for them with that win against the Rams. I know the Rams aren't good, but they barely got by them. But it's good confidence booster. I think Burrow's getting healthier as the games go on, so I think they need this to keep rolling. So -2.5.
And Derrick Henry only plays half the snaps these days, so
True.
How are they going to even score?
Right.
Asshole.
All right, next up, we got a little new segment for you. It's Teebs' Helluva Guy. Shout out to Nicki Minaj. It's a great song, super bass. If you haven't heard it, I recommend to go listen to it. And my Helluva Guy is Colts kicker Matt Gay. And let me tell you, I was so gay as those kicks were going through the uprights. As I pointed out, my current love is the Colts. So first game as a Colt fan, coming through for me. He's 5 for 5 on field goal attempts. 4 of them were over 50 yards. I think he had 3 at 53 yards, and his long was 54. So, that's first off, it's a hell of a fantasy day, and to have all those kicks to have your team win the game too. Great performance.
Yeah, game winner.
Is that an actual gay autograph down there?
I found it on Google, so yeah.
Wow, that's Did the picture and the autograph come together, or was that separate?
It's separate. I splurged it.
Wow, dude, look at this guy.
Yeah. You need to edit something. You can come to me. All right. So another new segment we have Shannon's Dum Dums of the Week.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this.
Here are 2 notorious Dum Dums. These aren't the
Put that on a T-shirt.
It's a fantastic graphic, I might say.
The head shaking is what sets it off. It's pretty dope without it, but fuck, that's awesome.
Yeah, the animations make it. So
that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Make it again.
Yeah, we can go back and forward. Yeah, let's do that one more time.
Hi, Dum Dum.
Look at those Dum Dums. So Booligans podcast, we're not sponsored by anybody, but Spangler Candy, who's the owner of Dum Dums. If you want to sponsor us, we'll be happy to have you on board here. So
send me all the blues.
That's fair.
So
blue raspberry, not cotton candy.
You got these in any order, Teeps?
I'll pop it up and you can talk on them. First one,
Yeah, Josh McDaniels, he's been a dum-dum for a while now. He knows offenses pretty well. It helps when you have a good defense up there in New England. But yeah, down 8 with less than 2 minutes left, he kicks a field goal instead of I believe he was on the 7-yard line or something like that. He kicks a field goal. After the game, he's kind of defending himself. Says after some other things, he says he needs 2 possessions anyway. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and just think that he's saying he needs 2 possessions to win the game. Obviously, you only need 1 possession to tie the game with a touchdown and a 2-point. So, dum dum.
Somebody had alternate line under 38 that cost me because he decided to do that. So I'm on board with this.
So Sneeze signs off on dum dum next. Yeah, Kirk Cousins. His face should almost be there with Fisher and CJ because look at that face. I mean, he's just he belongs in this segment. Yes, they're driving down the field. The Chargers are trying to cough up yet another game and go 0-3. He gets down there to the 2 or 3 yard line with like 31 seconds left. Now let's see, Kirk. How many 2-minute drill drives has Kirk Cousins been in his career? He's played for probably 10 years now at least. But I guess he needs permission to spike the ball. So instead, he lets it run down to 15 seconds, doesn't spike it, can't hear at his home stadium, can't hear his instructions coming in from his coach. So instead, he snaps the ball and he throws it to the other team, and Chargers win. So dum dum.
You like that?
No, I don't like that. Kirk, spike that.
I didn't like it either. I had the Vikings in that game. Dumb dumb.
Terrible. Dum dum. Next.
All right.
All right. So congratulations to the Notre Dame coaching staff, King Dum Dums this week. So 2 minutes and 20 some odd seconds left. They got the ball. They're not moving their offense. They're just trying to run some clock. 2nd down. Oh, we'll throw a screen pass. Well, guess what? It's incomplete, and now the clock stopped. And Ohio State still has 1 timeout left. So they run 2 more plays. Ohio State calls timeout. They also got the 2-minute warning. Notre Dame punts. Ohio State drives down the field, gets down there in the red zone near the goal line. Notre Dame calls timeout, comes out of the timeout with 10 men on the field. They stop Ohio State. Next play, they're out of timeouts. They got to run the same defense. They still got 10 men on the field. And Ohio State scores the game-winning touchdown. After the game, coach is like, well, we knew we had 10 guys, but we didn't want to have them get a penalty because then it would be a 10-second runoff. Well, you come out of the timeout and you just put 11 guys on the field just like you do every other play there, coach.
They could have faked an injury.
Yeah, any of that. Not
have.
Yeah, huh? It would probably be a penalty. Well, no, because if they're out of timeouts, it would have been a penalty.
But I guess where they did go like half the distance to the goal and they're already on the 1. So
that's the other thing. Just push the guy over next to you, and it's a personal foul, and it's half the distance to the goal. It's half a yard. So Notre Dame coaching staff, that's offensive coordinator, head coach. Congratulations, King Dum Dums this week.
Can I throw out an honorable mention?
Yeah, let's hear it.
It's got to go to Jevin Boyd for trading an arguable wide receiver 2 for Russell Wilson. So Jevin Boyd, honorable mention, Dum Dum.
He's not a wide receiver 2. He's like my wide receiver. My receivers aren't even good, and he's like my wide receiver 4.
I'm just saying, arguable wide receiver 2.
Anyways, I love this graphics, by the way. I mean, I'm totally impressed. I am a little disappointed, though, because I was teased that Fisher was going to be one of the Dum Dums, but he wasn't. I guess he's just a standing Dum Dum.
Yeah, a standard Dum Dum.
He never leaves Dum Dum territory.
I'm sure he'll do something every week to get an actual.
Oh yeah, we'll get him in the segment. So, we'll get him in the segment. Kind of like sitting Dave Montgomery.
Yeah, he's so far he's got a spot.
Should we have another level after King Dum Dum for Fisher level Dum Dum?
Maybe that's
I'll
consider that.
Could do it, yeah. Okay, we'll do one more segment. We have our current division winners. So as of this moment, who we think will win the divisions?
Connor, you want to take that one back?
I wish we could have waited till week 5, but hey.
All right, so I'm going to go down the line. You'll see the 4 teams pop up. I talk about whatever you want to, and then or we can just jump into who wins the division. So AFC North.
Oh, this is me.
This is all stuff. Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. I wasn't paying attention. Um, this is this and the NFC South is just almost impossible to pick. You could pick any of the 4 teams, although the Bengals starting off 0-2 hurts their chances for sure. I'm taking the Ravens. They kind of been on the doorstep. They can't stay healthy, which is tough. But hopefully they get some guys back. I think the offense will be humming once they're healthy, and I think they'll be last man standing in that tough AFC North. So Ravens.
AFC East.
AFC East, I'm gonna take Buffalo. I think everybody's on the Dolphins lately, and for good reason. They just put up 70 points. But Buffalo's won the division, I believe, 3 years in a row now. Won 10 games 3 years in a row. So I'll go with the incumbent until they're unseated.
AFC South.
AFC South.
You forget who you had?
Yeah, I thought because the first two
Yeah,
you had them
yeah.
in order. Yeah, I remembered once I thought about it for a minute. Yeah, Jacksonville. I kind of talked bad about Jacksonville in that London segment, but they were a second half team last year. That's when they really turned it on, and obviously had a pretty good playoffs. So I think they'll get it figured out. Trevor Lawrence is struggling right now, but I think he's proven that he's got what it takes. And Peterson's a good coach. They're talented on offense and defense. So I know you guys are not both of you, but I know Teves is for the shoe. But I'm going to take Jacksonville.
They're a solid club. It's not a bad pick. And the West. I think everybody knows this one.
Yeah, this one seems easy at this point. Obviously, picking divisions is never easy, but I'll take the Chiefs. Raiders and Broncos are BOOTY meat. So Chargers lost their first 2 games, and that put them in a little bit of a hole. They might make a run at the Chiefs, but the Chiefs are just the cream of the crop. So I'll take them.
All right, NFC now, North.
So got 2 0-2 teams, or two winless teams, and then obviously the game tonight was a big game in this division. I still think the Packers can pull it out, even though the Lions looked looked dominant in this game. I think the Lions were up for this game and obviously came ready to play. The Packers did not. But I know everyone loves Dan Campbell, but I think LaFleur is just a better coach. He's been there before. He's won several division titles, and I think even
Aaron
the Lions.
Rodgers won several division titles.
That's fine. Even though the Lions D-line is pretty elite, I think the Packers defense overall is better, especially with a healthy Jair Alexander. So I'll take the Packers. And Jordan Love is just fine.
So you're leaving even after tonight's game?
Yeah.
Bold.
Pretty sure I took the Eagles in this division. I mean, it's tough.
Yeah.
They beat up on each other. But Cowboys showed that they have chinks in the armor. Giants stink.
Can you say that word?
Huh?
Can you say that word? In the armor?
Say what word?
They have what in the armor?
Chinks. Yeah, they've got little pieces missing from their armor. So yeah, don't call me out on X. Yeah, I'll take Philly. They're just like the Chiefs, cream of the crop. Yeah. Like I said, this is one of the 2 tough ones. It's gonna be a little spicy. I'm gonna take Tampa Bay in this division. I think Baker has been around the block. They won the division last year. Their defense is pretty good. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are veterans that they know what it takes. They got a lot of veterans on that team that obviously some holdover Super Bowl winners, and they know what it takes to grind out the season. So I'll take the Bucks. And I will take the 49ers. No dramatic here. They're up there with the Eagles and the Chiefs, and those other teams in the division are on the downswing. Seattle's just kind of chugging along at mediocre, so I'll take the 49ers.
All right, we'll go to Cam's now.
All right. Okay. If you asked me at the beginning of the year, I would have told you Bengals, but the Bengals have looked like dog water. So I'm going with Connor's Kenny Pickett and the Steelers to win this division. I also was, thinking about Lamar, but they lost to the Colts at home this past week. I think Kenny Pickett's not a bad ball player. He can get the ball out into the hands of his name almost partner Pickett. So and they just, Watt on the defense, they're a solid club. They know how to win. Tomlin gets those boys going, and they're off to a pretty good start. So Pittsburgh
Pittsburgh was my honorable mention hot take, where they were going to start off like 10-2 or something, and then lose like 5 straight and finish the year 10-7 and not make the playoffs. So hopefully
that's right.
That's true for you. All right, East.
Okay, East again. At the beginning of the year, I would have taken Buffalo, but who can pick against the Dolphins at this point in time? They are on fire. So what is the term? Dolphin? Was it? What's your thing, Teeves?
Dolphins country. Let's dive.
Yeah, let's dive. So Dolphins.
That's gonna catch on. Like, I'm gonna tweet at some people. That's gonna catch on. That's gonna be a thing.
I like it.
Dange Tua.
But Dange Tua, no, we gotta.
Yeah, that ain't cool. All right. Again, for the third straight one, I've already flipped in the first 3 weeks. I would have taken Jacksonville, but you know what? This is the third time on this hour podcast I'm talking up the Colts here. People call me a hater, but I know ball. I'm a realist. The Colts are a pretty damn good ball club. I'll say it again. So get your playoff tickets at Lucas Oil because it's coming.
Okay.
Love it.
I'll get some.
For the shoe. West.
Okay, the West. This one's easy. Remember, like last year, people were like, "Oh, this is the best division I've ever seen," and it's parting of the Red Sea for the Red Kingdom. So the Chiefs, it is, no sweat.
NFC.
Into the NFC again, another flip flop. I would have told you Minnesota because it's like, oh, the Packers, of course, are trash. The Bears, The Lions, I don't know if they're quite ready for primetime, but guess what? They are ready for primetime because they just won on primetime again. They beat the Packers in their house handily. That's 2 straight in Lambeau. Dan Campbell, he can run through a brick wall, and he makes his players run through a brick wall. So Detroit is getting a playoff game also.
He's coming for your kneecap.
Side note about Dan Campbell, I think they said before this game tonight that he's like 3-0 or against LaFleur, and now so he's 4-0 now. So
Connor just told us that he was a better coach than Dan Campbell just a minute ago.
He's more proven.
But not head to head.
Interesting.
I don't care about head to head. I care about the other 15 games that they're playing.
Okay, well, it's a rough start for the better coach apparently.
Okay, this one pretty easy. NFC champion in my mind. I still could go with them as NFC champion. It's the Eagles here. The Cowboys might give them a little bit of run for their money, but I think in the end, dominant run game for Philly, and they play solid ball. That's a kind of an easy one in my book. So Eagles. Okay, this one was a difficult choice. I was wanting to pick against the Saints because they're not that great either. But you look at the other teams and they're just worse. I was thinking about Tampa Bay, but they look like a sack of potatoes this past week on Sunday night. They look just so defeated and energyless. So if that's a word, anyways. New Orleans is my pick, regretfully. And last but certainly not least, this one is also an easy one, maybe the easiest one on the board besides the Chiefs. It's San Francisco. They're well-rounded. Purdy's in control. They got weapons everywhere. They play good D. Easy. San Fran.
All right, we'll move on to myself, AFC North. So we all have a different one here. I'm taking the Bengals. It's a tough division. Our three teams here could very easily all win it.
The Browns ain't bad too. They're 2-1.
Browns defense is
Browns are
elite.
bad. Browns are bad. But the Bengals, when playing at their best, they're the best team in this division. So I think they'll figure it out. And there's still a lot of season left. So they got lots of time. So I'll take them to figure it out and get it done. The East, I'm riding with Dolphin Country. Let's dive. I'm going to keep going back to it. If Tua stays healthy, they could go undefeated. That offense is so dangerous. So dangerous to us. Sorry. Dolphins. Bills are good though. So, but Dolphins.
Got to win that one.
South. I'm showing love to my team. This division is bad. I would, like we've said, I think the Jags would have I would have picked them at the beginning of the year, but they've looked rough. Colts have looked good. I'm taking the Colts. The West, this was easy. It's the Chiefs. The other three teams, or two teams, Raiders and the Broncos are bad, and then the Chargers can never seem to figure it out. So Chiefs. NFC now, the North. I'm also taking the Lions here. They're just the best team in that division, so they'll win it. The East, like we said, Dallas could maybe give Philly a run, and like we've said too, Philly's run game is dominant. Dallas, I don't know if this loss to Arizona is going to wake them up or crumble the season, but Eagles are the best team here. It's the Eagles. The South, this is probably the worst division in football. I mean, all of these teams are bad except for the Saints because they're going to win the NFC, so easy pick. And then last, the NFC West, as we've said, probably the easiest one to pick out of all of these. It's the Niners. They could win the Super Bowl. So that's all we got. Unless you guys have any other notes.
Quick fact check. Jacksonville plays at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium next week, so they are staying in England.
Same stadium or different stadium?
Different stadium. I believe it's near London. I don't know exactly where Tottenham is.
I thought you were a football guy.
Tottenham is in London, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, dude. The Gunners in Tottenham. It's the North London Derby.
That's right. Derby, not Derby.
So
Derby.
the Detroit game just ended, and they kicked a field goal down 17.
Yep.
In the fourth quarter.
Yep.
I'm trying to see what the down and distance was.
They're going to make
on 4th and 7 from the 32 with 2:56 left, down 17. They kick a field goal. I mean, okay. Anyways, Packers got blown out is the bottom line. So, and I'm drawing the line in the sand with Study Hall. I'm getting big wins this week, so better hop on.
Packers hot takes moving back towards hot.
It's at least warm. Fuck.
It's not because they already won 2 games.
And next week they're going to Vegas. They're going to Vegas this upcoming week.
Who's terrible, and they got a Dum Dum as a head coach.
And then they're going to Denver. Do you think? Well, actually, they have a bye week in between. Do you think they'll stay out west for the bye week? 3 weeks out west. They'll have a little kumbaya. Maybe Jordan Love will figure it out because they can go to Nevada where he's from and maybe figure it out.
All I know is I was one Sam Laporta reception away from a plus 2,600 SGP tonight.
How many do you have?
4.
He had 4 in the first half.
I know. Yeah.
I had him getting 5 too. Were you telling Cody?
No.
Oh, it was something he cooked up. But.
I'll send it to you. It included a Christian Watson touchdown. I'm really upset about it.
Yeah, that sucks. Bad beat, huh? Maybe we can make that segment, which is already kind of is on another popular show, but maybe we'll throw in our own wrinkle to it somehow.
You think
Anyways,
Stanford Steve
we
will
also
come on?
didn't mention, I didn't have the little Tigers corner in this one, but hey, we're a Vandy victory away from 5-0. So hopefully we don't choke, but we might because Vandy is that way.
I don't know if we're
So,
I don't know if we're still recording, but go ahead
Yeah.
and take Vandy plus 14.5.
yeah, I would like 14.5 too. I mean, that seems for us to
It's
have
just-
a non-sweat game like that would be kind of too good to be true, as we spoke about last week, which we kind of sweated that game a little bit
We
too.
did sweat that game.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I feel like it was. I wasn't ever like nervous at all during that game. I was like, oh, I feel like we had it the entire time. But then you look at the end of the game and we only won by 7. But it's like I was never like worried.
Yeah, I
Anytime,
wasn't really worried. They
anytime
had the
I'm
ball
not
with like
winning by-
2.5
I was
minutes
also pretty
left.
drunk.
anytime I'm not winning by 2 possessions, I can't stand it to not have a 2-possession lead because anything can happen. So, like down to the onside kick, I was nervous. So this is the way it goes. But anyways, we'll get it done.
Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Get it done.
I mean, go Doors.
Go Doors plus 14.5.
Yeah. Let's double dip here.
All right,
All
I
right,
got
see you,
nothing else.
boys.
Good stuff.
Peace.